It's better.
It will really make you feel good, feel better. ทุกคน Can everyone close your eyes, please? Close your eyes. When you close your eyes, you are in your own world. It's the world of your mental self or your true self and the scenery of your mental world. So what can your mental self see right now? The scenery in there right now is made up of your breathing, the rhythm of the movement, and the sensation in your feet. Right? These are the nature of your mental scenery. So to bring your mental self back home, you still have to stick with the same principle, which is use your mental eyes to focus on your breathing, on the rhythm of the movements, and on your physical sensation, which right now your feet touching the floor, as well as your body touching the material, your clothing material. These are the scenery of your inner world right now. So your job is to focus on all this nature, as in bringing your mental self back home. So we are still constantly cultivate the mental skill of bringing your mental self back home, which is the skill that will make you feeling more at peace, feeling more well balanced, or feeling happier. So breathe deeply from time to time and wholeheartedly focus on all these features in your inner world without drifting away. If Jerry come into your house and trying to take your mental self away from home, you must resist. Don't drift. Don't go along with Jerry. Insist to stay home. Home with your breathing, home with your rhythm of the movement, home with the sensations. So by doing this, gradually your mental self or your mental Tom will become stronger, will gain the strength, and with this strength that you accumulate for your mental self, it will allow you to be in control of your life. You'll be able to react to the situation, especially the heated one, the troubled one in your life, in a more controlled way. You will have higher threshold of patience. You won't react angrily too easily. Is this such a good feeling that you have good control over your mind? This is exactly how you can do. Not many people know that there is a skill that can help you to have a happier life. But in fact, the Buddha have told us long time ago. And this is precisely how you can do it. So focus on the fundamental feature as breathing, movements and sensations. And do not drift along with Jerry. Drifting along with Jerry is a matter of asking for trouble. Because if you leave home, you have the high potential to be lost in your mental jungle. So it is safer to remain home. Let your mental eye dig into all the minute details of home. Okay, so I'm going to increase one more detail in your movements. When your hands swing to the front, I like you make into a fist. When you swing to the back, I like you to open your fist up. Open your hands. So with these details, I like your mental eye to really dig into it. This can prevent Jerry from entering your house. Prevent Jerry from bothering you. But even though Jerry comes into your house and try to drag you away, you have to be very strong and decisive to let go of Jerry. Cut down the length of your thinking. And then gradually you will reduce, you can reduce the size of Jerry, the population size of Jerry. Make Jerry become smaller and less and less. So everyone, bring your movement to a halt, stand still, and look at the changing scenery. Look at the changing scenery in your inner world. Breathe deeply so you can see the breathing and the sensations, your arms, the tingling sensation in your arms, your hands. and have a look into your inner world. When you see that your mind become more still, more quiet. Okay. Right, breathe deeply and then slowly open your eyes. So this is the 18th movement of Tai Chi Qigong. Okay. Which is still the feature of your first and the second home. Okay, right. Basically, you have to be relaxed, breathe deeply, and move slowly, and let your mental eye focus on your breathing and the rhythm of your movement always, even though with your eyes wide open. Okay. Right. Inhale. Inhale when you rise, exhale when you bend down. So, okay, if you choose not to close your eyes, your mental eyes can see your hands movement. So let your physical eyes follow your hands movement, but your mental eyes can see the sensations, the second home, as well as seeing your breathing. Yeah, we bend down for the last time, slowly. And then next one, open your arms widely, inhale. Inhale. So your mind or your mental eyes still wholeheartedly follow your breathing and your movements. The next one, the rainbow. Everyone to your right hand side. Both hands. One hand, left hand above your head, right hand to your side. Okay? And then to the other side. One hand above your head, above อยู่เหนือศีรษะอีกอันนึงก็ทิ้งลงข้างล่างทิ้งลงข้างล่างใช่เท้าไม่ต้องเคลื่อนเลยแค่เรียกว่าถ่ายน้ำหนักเองเท้าไม่ต้องเคลื่อนถ่ายแต่น้ำหนัก That's it. The rainbow. This is the rainbow. Please join us. So with or with your physical eyes wide open, your mental eyes will always see your breathing, your sensations, and the rhythm of the movements. So with all these movements, your mental self will be forced to return home, to go back home. Yeah, open your arms and then bend down. Stand in the posture that you feel comfortable, okay? Touching your hands. Now when you touch your hands, second home, stay with the second home, second home, second home. And then when you part your hand, second home disappear from your hand. You come to the first home, which is movement. Second home, sensation, and then first home. So by doing this, you will get used to with your mental self shifting from one home to another. Or you become more mindful. You become more mindful with your daily movements and activities. Right, the next movement, both hands to the front, swimming in the air. Right hand first, everyone. Draw your right hand back, bend your elbow, and then push your right hand to the front, and then your left hand to the back. Bend your elbows, and then push them to the front. Try to go into the details of your movement. When this hand at the back flip down, this hand in the front will flip forward. All these little details will be the part that polish your mental eyesight to make it become clearer. So we are trying to make our mental eyesight to become clearer and sharper so that you can see all the facts of life that I have explained to you in theory, in words. So that you can reach a point that the wisdom will come to you and allow you to understand the prison of life which the Buddha have seen and explained to us over 2,500 years ago. Right. Level both hands up, drop your hands, relax, and then standing your hands up and then bend down, rowing a boat, rowing a boat. Inhale when you rise, exhale when you bend down. Let your mental eyes really follow the minute details of your movement, the ongoing movement, which has a lot of details in there. Because the more that you can detect the details of your movement, the sharper your mental eyesight will become. If you have good mental eyesight, it also means that you have the good way, you have the better way to reach the destination. You'll be able to reach your mental destination quicker, which is to make yourself become happier, in control, feeling more at peace. I try to explain everything, in connection to one another so that you can understand the reason why you do it. Right, the next movement, both hands come down to your side. Everyone start with your left hand first. Left hand, raise your left hand to your right. Hand face up the ceiling and then twist your hand toward yourself. And then standing your hands up and then lower yourself down, your hands down to your side. And this time, right hand to your left. Twist your hand toward yourself, standing your hands up and then down. Try to discipline your movement. Articulate the details of your movement. Really articulate the details of your movement. Okay, and then down. Right. Right hand to your left. Right hand to your left. Twisting and turning and then down. Left hand to your right. Twisting your hand toward yourself. Standing your hand up and then down. So do each movement. Perfect each movement. Okay, successively. Don't jump the cue. Because if you jump the cue, it means that Jerry has come in to interfere. So force yourself to do all the movement very slowly, structuredly. And then your mental self will be forced to return home. And whenever your mental self can come back home, you are safe. Safe from Jerry. Right, we're going to do one last time. One last time, very slowly. Twisting and turning. Then bring your hands down. The next one, everyone to your right hand side, admiring the moon. Both hands like this. Admiring the moon. And then slowly swinging to the other side. Slowly swinging to the other side. Right, one last time. One last time. And then slowly lower your hands down. Your right hand tuck away by your waist. Bend your knees. Your left hand push to your right. Turn your hands over, draw back, tuck them away by your waist. Your right hand push to your left. Turn your hands over, draw back, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, and then wave hands like cloud. Your left hand face down. Right hand turn to your eyes on your eyes level and then turn back to your right. Lower your right hand down. Raise your left hand up and then turn back to your left. Left hand down. Right hand up. Turn back to your right. Wave hands like cloud. Inhale deeply from time to time. So even though your physical eye is not closed down, you will still focus on your breathing, on your movements, and on your sensations. To make sure that your mental self is safely home. Okay, and then open your arms. One step forward, your left foot step forward. Okay, and then you bend down, looking at sea, looking at sky. Inhale when you rise, exhale when you bend down. Make sure your mental self is safely home. Home to your breathing, home to your movements, and home to your sensations. And then the next one, pushing hands like waves. Push forward first. No resistance in your hands, relax. Lean back, inhale. Push forward, exhale. Inhale. And then pigeon, spread the wings. Open your arms, pigeon, spread the wings. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Punching soft fist, soft fist. Tuck your fist away, lean back and then step back. Adjust your posture firmly and then throw your right fist out to begin with. With this movement, you've got to coordinate between your breathing and the movement. When you bring your fist in, you're supposed to be inhaling. Exhale when you punch your fist out. If you don't want to inhale just yet, you wait. Wait until you want to inhale, fist in. Wait until you want to exhale, fist out. Okay? So your mental self has to be home to coordinate between your breathing and the movements. If your mind or your mental self drift along with Jerry, you cannot do this correctly. Okay, so everyone is themselves. You do on your own, okay? Coordinate well. And then the next one, flying like a bird. Open your fist and then flapping the wings like bird. Slowly. Let your mental eyes really follow your breathing, the rhythm of your movements and the sensations. Train your mental self to be in your first and your second home. And then the next one, spinning like a wheel. Everyone go to your right hand side, all the way round. Spinning like a wheel. Still know your movements, breathing and sensations. And then the other way to your left. Okay, and then the next one, patting hands like a ball. Right hand, left foot, patting down together. Left hand and right foot. Right hand and left foot. Left hand and right foot. This is about coordination. Coordination is a matter of forcing your mental self back home. This movement is especially good with people with the problem of dyslexia. It's about your brain cannot cope with the left and the right. So they will cure children by let them coordinate between left and right. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Right hand, left foot. โอ้โหคุณคนสีเขียวนี่เก่งจังเลย You're so good เก่งนะ Okay, this is the last one. Last one.
They just lost it.
Right. The very last movement now. With this movement, you got to inhale deeply here. Rise. Inhale deeply. Hold your breath for a fraction of a moment. And then exhale completely as you are descending. Okay? Inhale. With this nature of breathing, if there is any congested energy along your meridian lines, your energy line is the meridian lines, okay? If there is any congestion along all those energy lines, it can be trashed away, can be unblocked. So therefore, breathing in this nature very harshly is a good way to clear the passage along your energy line, which can help to restore your health, your physical health. And by doing this type of breathing and the slow movement of Tai Chi, Qigong, it can also force your mental self to return home. Okay? Return home so that this will pave the way for your daily activity to be mindful. And this is the last one. Do not bend down again. Right, everyone stand still and close your eyes. Look into your inner world and look at your inner sight. Insight meditation is a matter of allowing your mental self with the mental eyes to view into your inner sight. So, what can you see in your inner scenery? You can see your breathing. You can see your sensations, the tingling in your hands, in your feet, the tension in your heel. If you got the pain where you broke your hip, you can also see the pain there. So your physical pain, no matter what, is still your inner scenery. Your job is to view them. to view them is to bring your mental self back home. And by doing this, you can see that Jerry is reduced from your inner world. Right, I'm going to let you lie down now. You can lie down. No. Yeah, I'll
เอาเท้าไว้ตรงกลางเลยเท้าไว้ตรงกลาง
เอาเท้าไว้ตรงกลาง Yeah, throw the cushion. Grab the cushion and you can lie down on the use the one. Are you okay? Okay, so when you lie down, breathe deeply. The whole area of your back, your backing, that touching the warm floor right now, is the nature of your second home. Can you see that? This is a very familiar experience that every single human have when they lie down in bed. When they lie down in bed. Okay? But as I said, there are not many people who know the significance of that sensation, of this simple event that happen to them every single day and night. So my duty here today is to underline for you, to tell you that this simple activity, as in lying down in bed at night, light turned off, your eyes are closing, only darkness, then it is only your mental self that manifests itself. You don't see your physical self anymore. Okay? And a lot of people just let the mind drifting and floating along with Jerry, with their thoughts. And cause them problem because the moment that you let yourself drift along with all your daily problems, you tend to get trapped in your mental jungle, either the black forest or the bright, beautiful forest. Either way is not healthy in the eye of the Buddha. So therefore, the Buddha came out and highlight the nature of the home for you, teaching people to focus. The moment you lie down, you must focus on your breathing and your sensations. Whichever that is obvious, just notice, just observe, just view them, as in vipassana, insight, meditation.
And then you think about nothing.
When you do that, when your mental eyes see your breathing, see your sensation, the thought will reduce by itself. Your thought of Jerry will just disappear on its own. And make your mental self be free from thinking. You don't have to force yourself not to think. You don't have to do that. You can't do it because the moment that you tell yourself, I must not thinking, you have already add another Jerry in your head. Okay? So, do not tell yourself not to think. Instead, use your mental eyes, know your breathing, know your sensations. By doing this exact activity, your thought will reduce, will thin down, will slow down, and vanish on its own. Okay, this part is very important that you understand. The practice that I have guided you has nothing to do with imagination or thinking at all. In the same way that your physical eyes can see your hands, fingers, rings, and the palms in your hand, okay, your physical eye can see all these features very directly with your naked eyes without having to think that I am seeing it, all these things. So is your mental eye. Your mental eye can see the breathing, the sensations, and the movement in a very direct way without having to say that I am seeing this, I am thinking. No, nothing like that. Feel them very directly. And just view them very directly. The size of your thoughts, your thinking ability will reduce on its own. So every time that you lay down into bed at night time, light turn off, no activity, eyes closed, darkness, you must always remember to see, to know your breathing and the sensations. If you can do this, you will have a very good quality of sleep. Even though you sleep for a few hours, you will wake up and getting up with freshness, because it allows your mental self and your physical self to have a real good rest. The type of sleep that you involve with dreams, especially bad dreams, that is a bad quality type of sleep. You don't actually have a rest, a good rest. Your body is not allowed to heal because your mind is still active. Your mental self is still traveling around with Jerry. Therefore, you don't actually rest. So please remember, if you want to have a good rest, lie down in bed at night time, always come to your breathing. Notice, observe your breathing and your sensation always. The first and the second hold. So is the morning. When you wake up, remind yourself to come home. The first thing that you wake up. Because if you don't do it, the flood of thoughts will pouring into your head straight away. The thought about your loved ones, the safety of your loved one, the work, your health, everything. It will flood back in no time at all. So it's important that you try to keep Jerry at bay by developing a new habit of bringing your mental self back home. And suppose it come to, suppose if we, suppose a situation that you have to face with an eventuality, disaster of whatever nature, and that your life have only a few minutes to go. A lot of people become panic, not knowing what to do with their mind. Like the events of the Titanic, we all have seen the film. The events of the 9/11, the event of the tsunami or any kind of accident that we could be maybe a part of it, a part of the victim. Okay? Suppose that there is not much choice to live like the Titanic, like the 9/11, that you are trapped in one of those towers. And death is a certainty. Your choice have only two options. That is, you can choose to die in fear, with struggling with fear, not ready to die, or you can die in peace, accept the death and prepare for the last moment of your life. This is your choice. Okay, if death, suppose, we never know what is around the corner, right? So if death is a certainty, your choice is to die with fear or to die in peace. And I don't want to believe that anyone would like to die with fear. If you have a choice to choose, you've got to choose to die in peace. But to die in peace, you've got to know the skill of how to die in peace too. You can't just have a few minutes left in your life and then you're coming to learn the skill of how to die in peace. You can't just do that. Learning how to die in peace, you must practice from this moment onward. The user guide to life, the moral diet, and the law of karma are the concepts that will help you to learn to let go first. Because the biggest problem of people who cannot die in peace because they cannot let go. They cannot detach, their mind cannot detach from their loved ones, from their money, from their wealth, from their status, from their fame, from everything that they have, that they take it for granted that is always there for them. But no one in the history of humankind, we haven't seen a single person who can take the money, the wealth, the fame, the status along with them to the afterlife. All this material wealth have to be left behind in this material world. Okay? This is a very simple reason. So therefore, you've got to learn to let go of all this material wealth, fame and status from this moment onward. The book that can help you to let go, to understand the worldly value and to let go of them is already in the book, The Moral Diet and the Law of Karma here. So please study those two books and learn to let go from now on, so that when you must face with the eventuality, you only need to do the last bit of effort, which is bring your mental self back home. Home to your breathing, home to your movements, home to your sensations. Whatever home that is obvious and have left at that 2 minutes of your life, you cling to that home. Let your mental self cling to that nature of home. Okay? And then let your mental self stay home until the last breath of your life arrives. This is what you must do when you must face with death, which we never know what's going to happen to us, do we? Okay? So, but for the people who never know this practice, obviously when they have to face with this kind of crisis and the eventuality, they get panic. And the first thing they think of is their own family, their loved ones, their money, their everything. That only, minutes ago, hours ago, they took it for granted that their life will always be here to enjoy all those wealth. But we never know what is round the corner, what is round at the end of the corridor. So therefore, it is very important for everyone to prepare for this type of eventuality. And you cannot learn to let go in that short period of time. It is just impossible. You must learn it beforehand. And that last few moments of life, you only have to make the pendulum of your mind become totally still. By bringing your mental self back home, know your breathing. Okay, know your breathing, know your sensations until the last breath of your life arrives. And then you can leave this world with peace, in peace. Wherever your mental self goes, if there is indeed an afterlife, it is a guarantee that your mental self will go to the good place. Better still, your mental self might be able to leave this prison of life for good. If you're very lucky, you can do that. That can happen to you. So this death drill is also another practice that all Buddhists is encouraged to do. Okay? So every night that you sleep, lie down in bed, always make into a habit of observing your breathing and your sensations before you fall into a deep sleep. And as you can hear right now, see, once you sleep with a high quality like that, you can go into a deep sleep, snoring away quite quickly. Right, I will leave you in peace for a few more minutes. You're welcome to snore. those who are still awake, make sure that your mental self is at home with your breathing and sensations. If there is any jerry come in, try to get you away from home, as in drifting, you must be mindful and resist. Resist jerry and insist to stay home. Alright then everyone, can you please make yourself awake? Okay, and before you open your eyes, can you just let your mental eyes stare into the space, your mental space, the full frame. Okay? You can see that there are less jerry now because you have brought your mental self back home. You have closed all the door so that jerry cannot enter your home. So consequently, your mind become more quiet, become quieter, become still, in harmony, feeling happier. Try to recognize the experience. To recognize the experience and talk from the experience is the scientific means of learning Buddhism. This is the best way of learning Buddhism, by putting into practice, and we refer to the experience. Albert Einstein said that experience is the source of knowledge. So once you can produce the experience, you will have the real source of true knowledge, true wisdom. But if you just talk about all these, Buddhist concepts through words, through books, you don't know real Buddhism. You don't have real experience, which is very different. Okay, right, whenever you're ready, so look at the mental space, breathe deeply, and then slowly open your eyes, please. So someone really go into a deep sleep. Who is the real culprit? I thought it's you, but it's not. Right. Yeah, stand. How is your hip taking?
Oh, it's going good.
Yeah, it's okay. You sleep, it's okay. But you see, when you have this practice, when you lie down and notice your nose or docked up, isn't it? Okay, you will have a better quality sleep. You don't just, because that is the most painful moment at night time and the morning time, isn't it? When you lie down, no activity now, light off, only you, your mental self, and the darkness, and Jerry. So if you don't practice something like this, Jerry will drag you, and trap in your mental jungle in no time. So try to focus, okay? Make it into a good habit. Right, we do a bit of yoga. Oh, I've got pins and needles because so... Bit by bit now, all this simple movement is in yoga movement, When you pull back, I'm so impressed with you. You've got back hip and you can do this. Yeah. You see, you produce sensations
I work with youngsters. And
with youngsters.
Yeah, with youngsters, 14 till 18. And sometimes we do exercises, and I'm always better in the exercises than them.
You beat them.
Yes,
Really?
I beat them always.
Ah. But you see, I mean, when you teach young children like this, you can tell them to focus on all these, obvious sensations. Especially yoga. Yoga is very good. It's very good to help you, You see, all this stretching is obvious sensation, obvious feeling, isn't it? So your mental eyes just focus on there. Okay? And then you can do all sorts of things. Then, and then slowly stretch, and then the other side, you slowly stretch. See, sensation is there all the time. Sensation is the sense object to your mental eye, or your sixth sense. I don't talk about the sixth sense. Yeah. Okay, so when you are mindful with all these simple activities, when it comes down to housework, you mop the floor, you clean the window, you wash dishes, you putting dishes in the dishwasher, all these things. These are all movements, sensations, and breathing, which are the nature of home. So you can bring your mental self back home all the time. So when you can do this, constantly, in the ongoing process like this, when you look back another 5 years time, 10 years time, you see that your life has changed to the better. Your life becomes more stable and still, and then you don't have all this swinging around.
And I think you got more control.
Exactly. You got more control. Where's the water? There's that bottle of water. You see, suppose, according to the law of physics, if this object is more heavier, got more weight on the top and at the middle like this, okay? The law of physics said that this object cannot stand upright, it will topple, right? It will topple. If the top is heavier than the bottom, it will topple like this. But we never look at a life form as an object which still have the physical impact, in the sense that your mental Jerry come into your head and your heart. Okay? And Jerry is weight. Jerry has weight. Because when you worry over something, it's almost like you are carrying a whole mountain on your shoulders, right? And when you can resolve them, you, like Thai people said that, it's like you shift the mountain off your shoulder. So Jerry, your thought, memories and feeling, it got weight. So when people have too much weight in their head and in their heart, this object of life form topple. Topple in the sense of having depression, having breakdown. See, stress, worry, anxiety, depression, breakdown, and suicide is a nature of life being toppled, breakdown, because they carry too much weight on the top, on your head and in your heart. So life topple. So you can see that across the human civilization, human life topple all the time, fall down, break down all the time. Okay, so how exactly this practice will help you? Bringing your mental self back home is the very precise practice that will take the weight from your head and your heart, take them out of your life form. Okay? Take Jerry out of your life form. Kick Jerry out of your house. So when you bring your mental self back home or kick Jerry out of your house, you reduce the weight from your head, reduce the weight from your heart, and therefore this life form is firmly rooted into the ground and make you become stable and make your life become stable, especially children. So if we can teach children, with all this simple movement of Tai Chi Qigong from a very young age, up to university level, up to working level. Okay, just get them into a good mental habit of taking away weight from their head, from their heart, or like this. Their house, their life will be rooted firmly. So from 5 years old up to the age of 15, 16, when the hormone, normally gone wild, they will feel more stable in the head and the heart. They can sit at home and enjoy, doing all this physical thing at home, helping mommy doing dishes, cleaning the house, cleaning the toilet. Yeah, it is possible. We just have to put it into practice, that's all. Just have to put it into practice. Okay, so this is all trying to explain the unexplainable, the abstract, the energy form on the level of physical level so that you can understand. Really. Is it clear to you?
Yeah,
You begin
it
to
gets clear.
see.
I begin to see.
Yeah.
And it's something you have to experience.
Yeah, exactly. You got to bring your mental self back home, not thinking like that, okay? But just do exactly like what I guided you, and then today is only the start, the beginning. So what you must do is to invest your effort into it, your dedication into it, your persistence, and then keep on doing it. And then another 6 months, you look back, you can see that your life has changed to the better. You feel that you are more in control of your life. Okay? Today is still too early to say anything. Today is a matter of making yourself understand the fundamental concept, which by now I hope that you can understand. How about you? You understand?
I start to see.
To see, yeah, to see, yeah. See, and within the practice you will, see better. So you have the reason to practice now, don't you?
For sure.
Yeah, you have the reason to practice, and this practice is not about anyone else. It's for you only. For you only. So everyone must do it for themselves if you want to have a happier life. Okay.
But I think mostly the best thing to do is something, do it for yourself. Not
Yeah.
for somebody else. Even when you help somebody else, do it for yourself. Do it for the one you help.
That's it. Yeah. Especially, this turmoil, mental turmoil, no one can do for you anyway. Okay? Even though you are so much trouble, and then your loving husband or your loving wife, try to hold your hand or hug you, kiss you, stroke you and say that, come on, don't worry about it, feel better, don't worry. You can't just feel good about it when people tell you not to worry about it. You can't. Sometimes, some problem maybe you can. Well, a lot of the problem you have in here, it won't just go away with the consoling word. It won't.
You have to do something with it.
That's it. So that's why this skill, this is the exact skill that will help you to be happier, no matter what. Okay? I'd like you to sit more comfortably now. Okay. I'm just worried about you.
Oh, no, it goes quite well today.
How long now since you worked
2.5 months.
2.5 months. So you've been off work for that long.
For that long.
Yeah. So how much more time that the doctor give you?
I will try to start working in about
3 weeks.
3.5 weeks.
3 weeks. And I guess that your work is quite strenuous, isn't it?
I'm a cook.
You're a cook.
So I
so you have to
work in
stand
kitchen,
all
stand,
the time.
I walk a lot, stand a lot, do shopping.
You shopping.
สวยไหม
Who say traveling?
เขาชอบอย่างนี้หรือว่าให้ไปทำงานหน้าที่เดิมสมมติไม่ชอบทำอาหารอย่างเงี้ยโอเคแล้วเขาบอก
So you are a chef in a Dutch restaurant?
No, in crisis center for youngsters between 14 and 18.
Oh, I see. So
don't
you are working with the youngster.
Yes,
I see.
I cook for them,
You cook for them.
and if it's possible, one of them have to help me each day,
I see. Okay.
so I can learn them how to cook.
Yeah. Okay. You see, when you know about this concept, Buddhist concept and the practice, you can share with the children. When you really go into it, can you see any religious part of it or not? You can't, can you? I mean, it's okay. Only the very first part that we have to do a bit of praying and bow to the Buddha. But after that, it's all about life and the universal fact of life that we all have turmoil. And how to. So I don't force upon you.
I can see
until
that.
belief at all.
It's not about belief
No.
from someone mighty and
No.
very good is over
No.
there, and he fixed your life because you.
You do this. No, not like that.
That's not the way it works.
No, you're right. I'm telling you to I only just highlight or underline the nature of your mental self, which you already have, but you don't know that is the one, and show you how to use your mental eyes to know your breathing, which all these things you already got them, have them with you from day one that you were born into this world.
But have you been to the third home and the fourth home yet?
No. But I can just show you. Give me that bubble. Give me that bubble. No, the blue thing. The blue thing. Okay. So what happened is that. Are you comfortable sit like this?
Yes.
Are you okay? So what happened is that you bring your mental self back to the first and the second home, just for all this roughness, okay, to become a bit more still. A bit more still. เอาทอมกับเจอรี่มาด้วยนะเอาละแค่นี้แหละพอละ So you got your physical self, you got your mental self, you also got Jerry. This is your mental home. Okay? Your physical home is a nice house like this. Your physical self belongs to your physical home, lovely house. But your mental self belongs to your mental home. Okay? But your mental home also got the guests, the mental guests that come in to take over your home. Your home is free. Originally, it's you are the host. So you, and this is your home. You, and this is the freedom of living your own home. But if your house like this, a pretty house like this, is taken over by your guest, especially the bad guest, okay? You, the host, will lose your physical freedom. You want to go to toilet, open the door, your guest in there. You open the bedroom, your guest in there. You lose your freedom to live in your house, okay? So is your mental home. Your mental home, you are the host in your mental home, which is free, okay, carefree. But your mental home, through ignorance, is taken over by your mental guest. And where your mental guests come from? Your mental guests come from the problem that you face in the external world, people, relationship, work, career, whatever that you have to deal with, neighbors, noisy neighbor from hell, all these things, okay? It brings the problem into your inner home. So the external problem that you're dealing with people and relationship, all these things, the problem will come through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, okay, which are the bridges, bring all the data, all the information from the external world into your inner world and turn them, they will dematerialize from the external world, material world, into the non-material world and turn into your memories, your thoughts, and your feelings, which become your mental guest. This is how your mental guests come into your mental home. Okay? And these three mental guests, they are sergeant major who also have their follower, who can bring the mighty, army of mice to take over your house, and then attack you, kick you, like this picture. Where is it? Okay? Like Tom being beaten by Jerry. Yeah, that tongue. See, this is your mental self. Your mental self being beaten by this whole army of Jerry. Like this, Jerry. Okay, so this is what happened to your mental home. You got the home, right? In the same way that the physical space is the part that gives you your physical freedom. Your physical self have to walk into the physical space, all this space, allow you to have the freedom to walk, to do things. But if you don't know the importance of this physical space, you think that furniture is good. I like furniture, so you go and bring all the furniture and clutter this room up. The first thing that you lose is your physical freedom to move around, right? Because you have to move into your physical space. That is the freedom to move. But if you don't know the important part of the space, physical space, you've got too many furniture in there. The first thing you lose is your physical freedom to move around. So is your mental space. The reason I want you to notice your mental space so that you can have the mental freedom. You and the mental space make into your mental home and give you the mental freedom. But because people have to dealing with events in the external world, and these events bring the mental gas into your mental home, and they take over your mental home. They not only take over, they abuse you, they bully you, they hurt you sometimes. Okay? So to the majority of people in the world who never heard about this concept, this thing, there is no way for them to help themselves. No way for them to help themselves. What they can do is to make themselves swinging from this side to this side. I don't want to trap in the dark forest, in the black forest. Let me trap into the bright forest, the bright and beautiful, blossom forest instead. Okay, so instead of being trapped in the world that full with black guests, black Jerry, I said, you don't want this, I don't want this. Just invite the good guest, the white guest into your house. Invite the good guest, so the white one, the red one, all these things, which is all the pleasant thought, pleasant feelings, pleasant emotion like this, such as listening to music, seeing all the nice things, eating all the good food, pretty thing, soft touch, all these things. You can only do that. But no matter is the black guest or the white guest, there are guests that come to clutter your room, your home, and make you lose the freedom in your own home. Okay? So people who never know about this concept, especially never know or engage in this practice, there is no way for them to be free, to be mentally liberated or mentally free from their thought. They can only change from the black thought, black Jerry, into the white Jerry, and try to live in the world of, in this bright forest all the time. And that is not the real freedom in the eyes of the Buddha. In the eyes of the Buddha, he wants you to find the real freedom or the true kind of happiness, which is about not only kick all your black guests out of your house, black mice out of your house, even though the good guests, you still have to take it away too.
So what you say, that doesn't matter how many guests, in the end of the day, the house will be empty.
Yeah, how you empty. And to empty your mind, empty your head, is not about, I must empty my mind, I must not thinking. Because the moment you say, I must not thinking, you have already invited another Jerry into your house. Okay? So this is very tricky. This is very tricky. So you got to follow the very structured guideline. This one, it has a very good comparison. Suppose your thought, this compared to the light bulb that give out light, different color of light, black light, red light, yellow light, green light, blue light, whatever that color light that you have, which represent as different type of thought, Jerry, different color of Jerry. Okay, so to clear your mind, we like to say, oh, clear your mind, as if it's such an easy thing to do, but it's not that easy. Because what most people do, when you say about clearing your mind, you go to think, I must clear my mind. I must clear my mind. I must not think. I must not think. And then before you know anything, you've got more thought in your head. I must not think. I must stop thinking. Yeah, they say, I must stop thinking. Because I must try to forget. How can you try to forget your problem? Because that is a way to remind your problem, isn't it? You can't try to forget your problem because that is to underline your problem.
But then it hurts you the most.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So therefore, the Buddha know about this problem. So the full foundation of mindfulness, or bring your mental self back home, is not about trying to think that I must clear my mind. Because this way is about trying to use your hand, your bare hand, go to touch the light bulb, touch the red, green, yellow, blue light, trying to touch them and try to adjust them, try to make them go away. Which you can't make them go away by just touching the light bulb. You must do another activity which is completely different. Don't do anything with the thought of the light bulb. You walk to the light switch. You just walk to the light switch and switch the light off. And to switch off the light switch got nothing to do with the light bulb at all, but it connecting to there. Okay? So don't tell yourself that I must forget, I must not think about this and that. Don't. Go do something else completely different as in go to the light switch, which is use your mental eyes to know your breathing, know your movement, know your sensation. Keep on doing this. When you keep on doing this, all these light bulbs will turn off by themselves. Okay? They just turn off by themselves without having to do anything with it. But the most important thing, don't tell yourself, I must not think about it. Because okay? So this is it. So this is about switching off your different thoughts. Okay? Regarding the third home, first of all, you must know the space in your mind, this mental space first. As an experience, not just word. Okay? When you close your eyes, this full frame, everyone close your eyes. When you close your eyes, you see the full frame. That full frame is your mental space. So I will highlight, make it clearer by asking you to put your both hands, cover your eyes further, make it completely dark. Go on. Both hands cover your eyes. And once you cover your eyes, light cannot go through. You can see the complete darkness. That complete darkness, that full screen, is the nature of your third home, or your mental space. Okay? Or your mental space. And then all the echo in your head, the sound in your head, is the sound of Jerry. Okay? It's the sound of Jerry. So, right, I'm going to ask you to count 1 to 20. Go on, count loudly in your head, not loudly with your voice, in your head. Go on, everyone count 1 to 20 and then stop suddenly. Now once you get to 20, stop suddenly. Put the brake on. Once you put the brake on, you can see your mental space clearly. But when you invite Jerry in, you lose your mental space. Yeah. Mention the name of your loved ones, about 10 names. 10 names of people that you know, whom you know. In your head loudly. When you finish with the 10 names, slam the brake on. Quiet. So I want you to distinguish between the frame of mind with the sound in your head and the frame of mind that is totally quiet. Okay? Right, yeah. Bring your hands out. And open your eyes. We don't have much time, but I want you to know that that full frame, that darkness, that full frame is this one. When this one closed down, you see the full frame. This full frame is like that. Your mental space, in the same way that this physical space engulfing your physical self, 360 degrees, right? You're right in the middle of the physical space. So is your mental self, is in the middle of your mental space, or that full frame. So this is your third home. And the echo of any sound in your head is the entering of your mental guest. It's the entering of your mental guest. Okay? So this can compare like this. So your thought of Jerry, this is your mental space. Suppose this is your mental space and this is Jerry. This is Jerry. Jerry will go through your space. Jerry go through your mental space, just like the balloon. Go through the physical space like this. And the nature of Jerry is as soft and as fragile as this. It comes and goes. Okay? It comes and goes. So when the third foundation is that when your mental eyes spot Jerry, Jerry get a bit embarrassed and just disappear into thin air, as if this thing, just this you saw, you grab, and it disappeared into thin air. This is the nature, this is the scientific part of the practice now, because you got the observer and then you got the observed. You got to enter this practice for a number of years. It's a lifetime for some people. Just to understand how this thing works, how it comes into your head, and how that you notice and it disappears into thin air, and why it lasts, how it attacks you, how it just disappear. All these things is the nature, is the phenomenon that your mental eye have to keep on making the observation on and on and on for a long period of time, until you understand how this thing works. Once you know how this thing works, okay? Once you know how Jerry works, how it comes because of this come in here. Okay? This come in here. And when it come in here, it attack you, boom, 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 you. And then once you can see them, okay, it just disappears into thin air. Keep on making this observation. In Thai we call do jit. This one is the observer, this is the jit now. Okay, just keep on watching until a number of years. You can make a conclusion because you understand. What is the conclusion? Yes, the dark one. Where is the dark one? The black one. The black pots. The conclusion is that because the Buddha have made all these observations, and all his followers, all his noble followers, all have made the observation, so they can understand now. So this is the shortcut to you. After a long period of time, a good 10, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years to some people, before they can understand and they realize that, oh my God. Because when Jerry comes into your house, Jerry has the ability to create an elusive world engulfing your mental self. The most difficult nature to overcome is illusion. Why is so difficult? Because of its reality, because its trueness. Illusion is mean that it's true, but it's not true. Illusion, it means that when the factor is intact, okay, when the factor is intact, like the rainbow, the nature of the rainbow come up because of the factor of sunlight and the amount of water particle in the air, and these two factors put together, it turns into a phenomenon that we call rainbow. You cannot say that rainbow not real. Rainbow is real, real enough, just like this bubble is real enough, but it's not real because it's illusion, because when the factor change, the rainbow disappear into thin air. So if the sun just suddenly, go behind the cloud, the rainbow just disappear into thin air, just like that. And this is the real meaning of illusion. But when that illusion phenomena exists, they are so real. So is Jerry. Jerry has the ability to create an elusive world, engulfing your mental self. Okay? Suppose, for an example, when a woman, going to shower and then feel the breast and found a lump, upon feeling a lump, your hand touching your breast, feeling a lump, okay? Feeling a lump, which is the external information. So it straight away become Jerry. And this Jerry engulfs you straight away. You haven't seen the doctor, but your mind paints the picture that, oh my God, I have cancer. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh my God, this and that, this and that. The picture, okay, the imagery that go through your head are so real. And this is all being inviting Jerry into your head, and Jerry begin to bombard you. Boom, 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 like this. And everything is just so real in your head and in your heart. Okay, until some moment you literally think that in 3 months' time, I have to die. I have to part from my lovely husband, my lovely children, and all this. See, becomes so real. But they are not real. They are not real. You haven't even seen the doctor. It might not be anything at all. See? But we have this very bad mental habit to create something that is not there, make into something so real in our head.
It's not there, but it can kill you in 3 months.
Exactly. So what you have to do is to destroy this elusive world by bring your mental self back home. Let your mental eyes know your breathing, know your sensation, know your movement. And then suddenly this thing will just disappear into thin air, just like the bubble. See? Just like the bubble. It's real. But this is not real now. It's gone. This is illusion. This whole thing is illusion. See? Thought is illusion. One minute is there, next minute is gone. So 1 minute you think that, oh gosh, I'm going to die, all these things, When your children haven't come home, it's about 6 minutes late coming home. You might go, oh gosh, my daughter must be kidnapped by the robber, being raped, being killed, being all this. So real in here. Okay? But it's not real until after 10 minutes she entered the room. And then you realize that all those things that you thought is so real is not real at all. And this is human's problem. We are being tricked, being conned, being deluded by our own thought all the time.
That's the problem with our fantasy.
All the time. Yeah, give me that. So without this practice to clear, to kick all this Jerry out of your house, your choice is between being tricked, deluded by black Jerry or white Jerry, different type of Jerry, or this Jerry. That's all. This is intellectual knowledge. All your degrees, all your different degree up to the PhD, doctor, postdoc, all these things career-wise. Okay? So a lot of people, I don't want this, it's too painful, I don't like this black Jerry hurting me. So you go off and enjoy yourself, finding all the thrill, excitement, this and that. For this to enjoy, to delude you instead. And you try to cling on to this. I don't want to let go. And then the minute, because nothing is long lasting. Nothing is long lasting. When Einstein trying to find the absolute ruling point in nature, but he cannot find because everything moving all the time, right? The earth is moved, the solar system is moving, the galaxy is moving, the whole universe is moving. This theory make him say that there is nothing that is long lasting. So that is the run up to the theory of relativity. So you got to, assume a steady point to measure everything. But anyway, this theory is to support the Buddhist theory of change, the law of change, which is cover absolutely everything in the world, both the physical level and the mental level. Okay, so all the things that you want to cling on, like money, like fame, like status, like everything, all this, because it makes you happy, you want to cling on to it. But because everything is not long lasting, everything is changing all the time, you will have to lose this kind of nice feeling sooner or later. Once it loses, this black cherry come into instead. So your life is in between like this, jumping in between black cherry, white cherry, and another group of people just go deeper into knowledge, intellectual knowledge. Okay, so in the end, there is no freedom whatsoever. The only type of people who can really claim the freedom is those who engage in the vipassana practice. And you know that how many million people in the world that engage in vipassana practice? Millions. America especially. Many millions in the world that know the significance, value of vipassana. And they engage in the practice so that they can free their mental self completely. They don't want any of this, just really free. But you got to know how to free yourself. So this is what today is all about. Okay, so once you can free, okay, so the third foundation is all about trying to understand the working of Jerry and know that Jerry come to delude you, so you have to detach and let go of all different type of Jerry and claim your home back. Now once you claim your mental home back, which is the third home, the third foundation, the fourth home is already there, which is the innocent perception. If you have the time together, I can't do it today because you're not ready yet. Okay? The innocent perception is the experience when your mind is completely still, void of Jerry, because Jerry make up of language in your head. Okay? You talk in your head first. You engage in your mental monologue first, and then suppose you see this thing, your physical eye, you see this thing. And then you got a word in your head calling this thing as, it's in English you call bottle. One thing, this very one thing, okay? But your language in your head is all in different language. If I'm in English, I will call bottle. If I'm a Thai, I will call ขวดน้ำ. If you are Dutch, what you call?
Flesh.
Fresh.
Flesh.
Okay. If you are Deutsch, what you call?
Tas, nee, dat is kopje.
Flesje.
Tassen, dat is het kopje.
Dat is tas.
Okay. Can you speak French? If you French, what you call?
Bouteille.
Bouteille, right? If a Chinese, we call guac. Okay? So Jerry is all different, makeup of different language depending on what culture you belong to. Language is a type of culture. So in your head, you call this very thing by different name. And then when you utter, you got the word in your head first. And then when you utter the sound out, it turns into different languages. But all these different languages, they all refer to this same thing. This all same thing, bottle, okay? The same thing. So the innocent perception is nothing more than take away Jerry. Take away Jerry is take away the languages from your head. Make your mind totally be free from Jerry. But when your mind is free from Jerry, it doesn't mean that you become a cabbage or you become utterly stupid. Because this is what the intellectual world like to think, that, oh gosh, if I don't think anything, I'll become stupid, I'll become a cabbage. Nothing like that at all. The secret of life is hidden in this very moment when your mind is void of Jerry. Because your perception is still exactly the same, but it's not the same because there is less Jerry. So therefore, when your mind is free from Jerry, all your perception is still there and it becomes innocent. It becomes innocent. And that innocent perception, okay, is the experience that you can have access to, okay, with the clear guidance. And from that, I will connect with the term God, the tree of life, Nirvana, Tao, and the absolute truth, 24 terminology, including the absolute rolling point in nature that Einstein tried to find. Okay, so with this very experience of the innocent perception, I can help you to understand all these big words. And all these big words, you will know that the world, the religious conflict that happen in the world, that are fighting over different languages in your head. Which is very sad. Because if there is any ultimate truth at all, there got to be just one truth. You can't have 2 or 3 or 4. Can't say that this is the Buddhist truth that is different from the Christian truth, the Islam truth, the Jewish truth. No. The ultimate truth got to be one, and it got to be the end, the final frontier. And that absolute truth have to be accessible by humanity. I believe so. It's not a belief, I'm sure, I'm definite. So that's why I try to, put my concept down in that the only hope for humankind. If humankind want peace on earth cannot come out from all this talking. With the politician, the world leader like that. If you want the world peace have to be accumulated through the individual peace of mind. How the individual can earn the peace of mind is through the 4 foundation of mindfulness. Bring your mental self back home. When you do that, you have earned your individual, peace of mind. So put all this individual peace together, it will make into world peace. I'm sure that this can be done. If only you know the right language. So this right knowledge, you have to search for it. Okay, this is the reason why when Louis asked me, to come to Holland, even though just a few people, I said that I'm happy to come. Just help a few who are willing to listen and willing to understand. Okay, so I like you to, to really put in a compassionate mind and trying to pass on all these words, to the people who are right and ready to understand. Like this morning, you might not think that, it's that much of a big deal, but by now I hope that you understand the significance of this practice and the importance of it. Because without this practice, I really cannot see how you can have to be in control of your life. And to lose control of your life is the most frightening thing. Yeah, shall we all sit on the chair now? I think the time is 5 o'clock. There's still a lot to go on.
แป๊บเดียวเลยนะแป๊บเดียว
เห็นไหมเร็วนะ
Any question?
I can only suggest that
No, I first have to consume it.
I can only suggest that you today is very much like planting an enlightening seed in your heart, in your life. So you must work and nurture this seedling, make it grow. Okay? if in between you, there are points that you cannot understand, you either have to read my book to supplement your understanding, and if it's, when it comes down to the third and the fourth foundation of mindfulness, the third and the fourth form, I have to come back and guide you. Especially the fourth home, the innocent perception, you cannot master the skill without me standing here and explain the meaning of here and now. That's why I got this clock with me. The meaning of here and now, the meaning of the truth, and then to link all this with all those big words. To put them all together, it takes a good one day. The third and the fourth, it got to be a whole day that we just purely focus on. So today we can only just, I do my best. I've done my best to help you to know, to underline your mental self and how to use your mental eyes and introduce the nature of the first, second home to you so that you can bring that. I think you have come a long way already. Do you feel so? I mean, from this morning before we start the session, come to this moment, you know much more, isn't it?
For sure.
You know much more. You see, there are four natures in life, and the worst thing is one actor. You don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know, and you know what you... You know what you don't know is still safer than you don't know what you don't know.ใช่ปะ? If you know that, I don't know this thing, okay, I'll try to find knowledge. But the problem is that with all this concept that I offer to you today, it's all into the category of people don't know what they don't know. So it's very much like you're already in a dark room, and you still put dark glasses on it. You close all the door, close all the window, and you put dark glasses onto it. And some people try to open the door, give some light to you, and say, no. You try to close yourself. This is the most dangerous thing. You don't know what you don't know, and you try to refuse and don't want to know. This is dangerous, okay? But this approach is so difficult to tell people at the beginning. I feel for you. I mean, for you to all the people that when they to say that Supawan Green is coming, and then she tried to teach you all these things. A lot of people in Germany, the Thai people said that, who is she? What I'm going to gain from this? But the organizer, like Louis, some of them didn't even read my book, so they don't even know what I'm going to teach, so they couldn't explain. They couldn't explain what all this session is going to be involved. You see, it's very difficult to persuade people to come along. So it's all come down to, your relationship with all these people. They trust you, okay, come along. But those who insist to stay, come along to stay, you gain the most, isn't it? Because only a few hours today, 5-6 hours, you have gained a lot already. At least you know your true self. And you know that your true self have 4 homes to return to. So you don't have to put up with the nature of being lost in the mental jungle again. You can just come home whenever you want. Okay? And this is a big leap already, don't you think so? A big leap already. And then if you want to know further, I can come back again and then help you to reach the third and the fourth home. You just need some explaining and some, more practice, that's all. Okay? So after today, you will feel deep in there, you feel that you have a real refuge. And this refuge is not a belief. It's not that, got to pray for God, have to pray for the Buddha, all these things. No, nothing like that. The refuge is that it's your sheer effort and determination, dedication, okay, to insist to be home. Know your breathing, know your movement, know your sensation. Okay, so take the Tai Chi movement with you, and then just stick in there, and then every day or 3 times a day, you know, you can just do this, and then my voice is trying to help you to go into and then with the recording of today, I think it can help a lot as well, okay, for the people who want to join. But regarding the third and the fourth, I'm sorry that I cannot cover in such a short time because I'm run out of steam.
And I think when you do it all in one day, it's too much.
It's too much. It's too much for you to take, and too much for me as well.
Because then when you get everything in one day, then at the end of the day you ask yourself, where have I been? What did they tell me? What did they say? What have I done?
Exactly.
And you go home with lots more Jerry's.
Exactly, with a lot more Jerry. That's very good, very good. You do understand what I say. Definitely, you do understand. Okay? The concept. Even young children, I got the 2 cartoon books, the manga cartoon, okay, Chasing Jerry Out of Your House. And I motivate the mother, the young mother, to read for the children. And I got the feedback as young as 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, after the mom reading that cartoon book to them. And every time that the children see mommy getting angry or getting annoyed, you know, with the girls or the boys, the girls said that, Mom, I can see Jerry on your head. That is the dark noise, you know, on your head. It's beating you up.
I was thinking about that too.
See, it means that the children, you know, they understand the concept of Tom and Jerry. If they reaction like this, they understand now, and then, you know, they can begin to do all the good things and bring your mental self back home. So if you have young children, have you got any children yet? No, you will in the future, and then you can begin to work on your young children. Try to take away, don't feed too much Jerry into the head, and try to make their life rooted. Make their life stable and rooted, so that when they go into the hormone, you know, hormonal age in the teen, they don't go wobbly too much, okay? And they can be happier, they can be stable. This is the best that you can give to your children. The best is not giving money, even education, okay? You educate as best as you can, and they can only take as much as they can as well. Not every child, you know, can go to university and do the PhD, can they? No. But every child can do this practice also. Okay, so I hope that you understand the concept today. I'm very glad that, you know, you could come and join this practice. It's a shame that the rest have to have the engagement and go, but it still doesn't matter. At least they know the mental self, and they know roughly about how to bring the mental self back home. And it will reach a point that when the mind become like this, like today, and I'm sure that when you live until this age, you have gone through this boom, 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 endless of time, right? You can't reveal that you never, but sometimes we got very short memory, don't we? We forget.
Yes.
We forget, you know, especially when we have something nice, and then we forget.
We push away.
But there is no guarantee that you don't go back to this painful boom, boom, boom again. Okay? And those who've gone through the practice today, okay, with certain level of interest, it doesn't matter. But when they go through this painful, you know, turmoil again, they will come back. They will remember that, okay, that woman, you know, that Mrs. Green talk about how to bring the mental self back home and make their life become happier. And they will come back to this knowledge again. They will come to read the book. They will come to pursue the practice of bringing the mental self back home. So it's only a matter of time, sooner or later. Because a lot of people still think that, oh, I'm okay, I don't have problem, you know. Going Buddhism, go to temple is a matter of those who have broken heart and all these things. It's not for me, I'm okay. But it's a matter of time. Okay? Because no one become any younger, then we will get older. And all come with what? Illness. And death is around the corner. So when you reach your oldness, the fear of death, the fear of insecurity, it always, you know, come to visit you, and that is the time that you will face this boom, boom, boom more often. Okay? And no one can help you to pacify this apart from yourself and the right knowledge. So without the right knowledge, there is no way that you can get rid of this boom, boom, boom. Okay? So I would like to thank Louise, okay, for her effort to organize this session that and make a lot of people, a few of us, to benefit from this teaching. Okay, Anumothana, thank you very much. Anumothana, I'm happy for you to do this, great merit for everyone. It's very kind of you. Okay, and I hope that you don't forget this knowledge and will pursue this practice as long as you can manage.
I think we have to thank you for sharing it with us.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I just treat that as my job really. My job is just trying to spread this Buddhist gospel, the Buddha's gospel. Gospel means good news. I'm trying to play with word because you've got the Christian gospel, right? Gospel means good news. The good news from God, all these things. But I'm giving you the Buddha's gospel, the good news about liberate your mental self from jealousy. Okay? So it's okay. You're all very welcome. The pleasure is all mine. Okay? I don't mind, just if I can only fish a few fish at a time, I'm happy because this knowledge is not easy to have access to. Once people want to, come to this knowledge, you always have an obstacle. You always have obstacle coming to bar you. Like from Belgium this morning, you come out and then you got the flat tire. And a lot of people think, now, okay, I give up now, I don't want to go. But she didn't give up. Okay? And some got engagement or other, but you got to persist. Persistence is the main ingredient. Okay then. Shall we have another drink? Another visitation to the toilet. Thank you very much, Eric, for filming.
You're welcome.
Okay, goodbye everyone. Shall we do just saying goodbye to the Buddha by doing the triple jab again? Right.
I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhaṃ Bhagavatāṃ Abhivādemi Sawākāto Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammaṃ Namasāmi Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅgho Saṅghāṃ Namāmi นึกแผ่เมตตาหน่อยนะคะสัพเพสัตตาสัตว์ทั้งหลายที่เป็นเพื่อนร่วมทุกข์เกิดแก่เจ็บตายด้วยกันทั้งหมดทั้งสิ้นขอให้เป็นสุขเถิดอย่าได้เบียดเบียนซึ่งกันและกันเลยขอให้เป็นสุขเถิดอย่าได้มีเวรซึ่งกันและกันเลยขอให้เป็นสุขเถิดอย่าได้มีความทุกข์กายทุกข์ใจเลยขอให้มีแต่ความสุขกายสุขใจรักษาตนให้พ้นจากทุกภัยทั้งสิ้นเถิดนะคะ We share the goodness that we have done today to all the being in the samsara. Okay, this is the very traditional way of practice after we do the great merit. What we did today is consider great merit. Okay, something that is difficult to. Okay then, I hope you all the best of luck and we meet in Nirvana. I willเจอกันที่นิพพาน
For sure there.
Yeah, because that is the only destination that we all have to go to sooner or later. Sooner or later you will go out there, so we meet out there out of jail.
I will keep this here. I don't want to talk to you. We're going to have some rest. I mean, all that. So.
Yeah, but I need some food now. And thank you very much, Barry, for cleaning.
Oh, don't worry. He said it was his job. It was
You tried it well.
อนุโมทนาสาธุนะ โอเค Okay, and Anumotana Bun with Louis and Eric, okay, to host this session. Open your
thank you, Eric.
house for all of us and all the food, you know, that make us all very happy, both physically and mentally and spiritually. Oh, so perfect.
I would like to
You're welcome.
also thank Ajahn Supawan for all of us, for her metta, for kindly to come and give us this knowledge. And I also want to thank you all to come. And for me,
Yeah. Okay.
because my dad just passed away last
Oh,
month,
yeah, you can share this
to him I
merit to your father. Okay. So I hope that this merit will be extended to your father, Louis' father. Wherever he is, may he receive this merit that we have done today. Okay, and allow him to be in the good realm. And wish also that he had a chance to come back as a human being, meet Buddhism, have a chance to practice the 4 foundations of mindfulness, and live the prison of life, go to Nibbana in the future lifetime. Okay? Yeah. This is the way that we have to do the blessing for people. Always end at Nibbana. Always end for them to liberate their life out of this prison of life. Okay? So just by saying this, they will receive it. Okay? It's just like planting the seed of enlightenment for them. Okay. Thank you very much. Right, we're going to have. In fact, there are some more food.